What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Ooh, I'm shaking the camera. Welcome to Real Combat. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. And tonight I am joined by two very, very talented podcasters. And I'm very excited for you to learn about them, their show, and more. But just before we get started in introducing them, remember that this is the debate show that asks, what's Mick going to watch tonight? Two contenders go head-to-head in 3 rounds, and by the end, I will make my choice on which of their movies we should watch. So join us. And first up, I want to introduce from the Good, the Bad, and the Sequel podcast, Mr. Doug Dietz. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Mick. I'm very excited. I love debating, and I love that I can choose what my quote-unquote topic or movie is, so this can be a blast.
Well, I'm very excited to hear what your movie is. I'm hoping it's a sequel just because to live up to the name a little bit more.
I have to.
But so before I go over to Joey, what's your movie tonight?
Oh, I can say now?
Yep.
Oh, dude. Death Wish 3. Charles Bronson, Paul Kersey's back in New York or Manhattan, Mick Manhattan.
I love it. And Joey DiCarlo from the So Wizard podcast. Joey, thank you for joining us. Man, I love both your shows. I've gotten to listen to a few of them, especially because you guys are going to be on the show. I want to make sure to check it out. I love the shirt. And I also follow you on TikTok. So, lots of fun content there as well. Joey, tell us, what is your movie this evening?
All right. My movie is 2021's Psycho Gorman.
Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. All right. Like everybody knows who watches this show, it doesn't matter that I haven't seen Psycho Gorman and that I have seen Death Wish 3. Anything can win. It's just all about the arguments here. So going forward, we know that Death Wish 3 came out way before Psycho Gorman. So you get to go first, Doug. The floor is yours. Why should I watch your movie?
Well, it is Charles Bronson peak canon. If you look at all his canon films, it is number 1 by far. And, your name is Mick Manhattan. Why not take a stroll into New York City? And this is a very rare movie. People can categorize this as vigilante, gang movie. But how about what people rarely think about? It's like senior citizens taking out like 70 gang members. And what's great about this movie, there's not even a name for the gang. It's called the Street Punk Gang. They couldn't even put something like that in. And without this movie, we might never have had Bill and Ted. Because Alex Winter, this is one of his early films that really kicked off his career. So why not sit back, have some popcorn, and watch Paul Kersey just obliterate over 70 guys in a movie franchise that, in the first movie, he was a pacifist, if you remember, and he wouldn't even hold a gun. And then in this one, he's holding every gun. So that's why you got to do it, Mick.
It's a hell of an argument. And you're playing to your strengths with my name. But I've heard good things about Psycho Gorman. And I'm excited to hear more.
All right.
Floor is yours, sir.
I appreciate Doug picking both bad and a sequel to make it a little easier for me tonight. But Psycho Gorman, 2021's horror comedy family movie. It's a huge mashup of a bunch of different things you may like. Things like the Goonies, the humor and gore of Evil Dead, the special effects and fights of Power Rangers, all smushed together in an indie movie made with love by director-writer Steven Kosinski, who co-directed The Void, which you may have seen in the past, which is certainly a much more gross-out, mean-spirited movie than this one. It's the story of 2 young kids, Mimi and her brother, affectionately known as Boy, because no one can remember his name throughout the movie, who find a diamond in their backyard buried, which allows them to control an ancient demon creature, and they just run amok throughout their neighborhood.
All right. That's an interesting tale. All right. So, it's funny you mentioned The Void, too, because that was the first winner on this show ever. And it went up against The Thing.
Oh,
my favorite horror movie of all time. So
Whoa.
I'm sure you guys know
Yeah.
as fans. I think I see the thing right behind you, Doug. And you guys know that means that the argument wins here because the thing should win probably every time.
Yeah.
But you guys made some good arguments. You're intriguing me with these movies. I can't. I have no decision for you at the moment, so we're going to keep going into round 2. Okay, round 2. We're going to bring it back to you, Doug. Rebut his claims, my friend.
Well, all right, like the Goonies. I don't know. That's a tall order. That's like a legendary movie. But when I think about I've not seen Psycho Gordon. The title doesn't seem like it's a movie. Mick, you and the lady gonna sit down and have a romantic evening. You can't do that with Psycho Gorman. But in Death Wish 3, you have Paul Kersey, at the time 65-year-old Paul Kersey, Charles Bronson, getting with like half his age, Deborah Ruffin. So there could be that moment, that it goes to, but not with Psycho Gorman. And they find a diamond. There's a lot of this movie that I might have to watch this movie because it does seem sort of interesting. But there's not bad guys wasted. Is there? Are there people that die in this movie, Joey?
Oh, there's quite a few, actually. Yeah.
Is it over 70?
It's pretty close. I'd put it in the double digits. So.
Oh, well, that could be 11.
It could be 99.
That's true. I mean, that's a wide span there. I will tell you, is Death Wish 3 the one with Marina Sirtis in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Where she has no lines. They had cut like pretty much all of her lines from it. But that movie, perfect. Thanks for helping me out. Then that boosted her career. Maybe if she didn't do that movie, no Star Trek.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'll say this: you can't argue the Psycho part of his title with what happens to her in Death Wish 3. And I'm going to leave that to the imagination. And I ain't watching that one with the missus.
Yeah, no.
I wait for her to go to bed. Joey, please rebut.
Oh, sure. I mean, Death Wish 3, it's an old movie with old people in it. Psycho Gorman is wow. It's now. It's new. You fight some no-name gang in it. I mean, that's no fun. Whereas in Psycho Gorman, we're fighting monsters, witches, other creatures, lots of gore, lots of practical effects. It's a throwback to dangerous family movies from the 80s, not good-natured, kiddie, fun films, but things you used to kind of watch maybe behind your parents' back, like Gremlins and Monster Squad, things like that. It's got a great sense of humor. The end credits have a fantastic rap song over them, all about the plot of the movie you just watched. I'm all in on Psycho Gorman. I'm not really feeling some no-name gang and just some shooting and fighting. I'd rather see people exploding, people's guts flying out everywhere, and types of things like that.
Well, the end of the movie, Fraker, who is a monster, gets blown up to smithereens. And also the soundtrack just slaps for Death Wish 3, done by Jimmy Page. Intro track, boom. End of the movie. He just walks off to smooth jazz after he blows. God rest his soul, he just passed away. Manny Fraker, who played Richie's brother on Happy Days, is the villain in this.
I will tell you.
Jimmy Page was also on the Godzilla 98 soundtrack, so it's not really a huge,
All right.
But that soundtrack slapped.
All right. Let's not go too far now.
You said it was Combat Man.
No, I'm just you're going too far the other way, Doug. You're pushing me towards the other movie.
Oh, no.
Don't bring up 98 Godzilla. All right. Before we go on, I want to talk about your shows because I'm very interested in everybody joining in and finding out where. Not interested. I'm very adamant about people joining in and checking you guys out. But Doug, let's start with you first. The good, the bad, and the sequels. Tell us how it started. Tell us about the show. And why sequels?
I want it to be different. So my co-host, Jamie, who does the reviews with me, he wanted to do like a movie podcast, but I said, dude, I got to be different. So let's do like some kind of niche. So we went sequels, and he was like, let's do that. I'm like, but that's not it. It's got to be more niche. So what we do that's different is we only cover sequels that I personally interview somebody that worked on it, whether it be an actor, director, producer, casting director, special effects, you name it. I talk to them to get some behind the scenes and then find out their origin story, because I love that. Hollywood is, man, nobody makes it. It's like 1%. The failure rate is unbelievable. So it's so cool to find that. But the reason I personally started it was I love sequels growing up. My dad was a garbage man, so he found some cool stuff in the garbage over the years. But people always toss VHS tapes, and it was always sequels. Like I had Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. I watched that so many times. So in my eyes, it is better than the first one. But so that was like the inspiration of it. And people could check out where episode 190 comes out tomorrow. And it's all at sequelsonly.com. Great interviews with people I still can't believe spent hours, some people 2 hours, chatting with me about their lives.
I love it. All right. Well, all right. Let me ask you this, though. Is there plenty of people who make the argument? I'm going to ask this of you too, Joey. What do you think is a better, it doesn't have to be the best sequel ever made, but give me an example of a movie, a sequel that surpassed the original in your minds. And don't give me Empire. That's trilogy. Taking it out right there. Any trilogies, trilogies we're taking out right there. I want an actual number 2 or number 3 or something on there.
I would say Aliens. I think that, for me personally, hands down, as a watcher, maybe the first one is like a better like film overall when you look at story and everything, but I love action. I love everything that the second one has to do, what Cameron brought to it, and that cast, and game over, man. Like, it's legendary what happens in that movie.
It's a great choice. Joey, how about you, man?
What's going on? All right, so Wizard podcast, pretty exciting, new, super crazy, never done before in the history of podcasts. 3 friends review movies weekly on a podcast that's audio only. So can't believe it. Wow, like wow, right? Wow. No, we've been doing it since 2014. Every week with no weeks off, we are reviewing new movies, genre movies, horror, sci-fi, comic book, action. And we also have a YouTube channel that we are doing supplemental stuff. So we interview celebrities, we do Comic-Con coverage, trailer reactions, all your favorite video type stuff on there as well. We just dropped episode 380 this week. We reviewed Red Notice from Netflix. And this week on YouTube, we've got early access stuff from Amazon Prime's Wheel of Time. So we interviewed a bunch of the cast, and we did our early review of the show as well.
That's fantastic.
That's cool. I saw that when you followed me yesterday. I was like, whoa, who is this guy? Like, this is legit. And then when he sent me the thing today, I'm like, oh, man, and this is the guy that I'm going against? That's pretty cool.
It's a lot of pressure. It's mostly just persistence and having no life. So, yeah, it really works out.
That's, you guys are spreading the entertainment, and that's the way it is. And the thing I love about it is I'm talking to 2 guys who have been podcasting for longer than COVID, so it's nice.
Yeah.
It is. It's a rare thing, and like, don't get me wrong, I talk to some interesting people and some podcasters and stuff, and I'm not putting them down. But we, myself included, we've been doing this a long time, and it's nice to like go back before COVID because things were much different then. In the audio only world. Now I will say this, both of their shows are linked in the description below. You can check them out, and you should go to their site, follow them online, everything. They're good guys. They're putting out great content, and it's a lot of fun. So guys, thank you again for joining in. Congratulations for so many episodes of entertainment, which I appreciate. But we're going to get into the final rounds. I still have not made my decision. I'm weighing because I'm like, I haven't seen Psycho Gorman, but I've heard great things. But it's Death Wish 3, and it's like, that's a bonkers movie. So there's a lot of craziness to it. But we're going to get into it. Joey, I'm going to have you go first in the third round.
All right.
Tell me what this movie means to you.
So, yeah, you referenced COVID and, being a new release movie review podcast during COVID was not fun, and it was not easy. Scraping the bottom of the barrel for streaming releases and anything to watch. This movie kind of came out of nowhere. It just blindsided us. I saw the preview maybe a week before it dropped, and I said, my God, I need to watch this. And I forced my co-host to watch it with me. They both enjoyed it, thank God. And we were just kind of blindsided by it. It's just a great movie. It's got an awesome, fun feel for it. Like I said before, it's got a punk rock indie feel to it. Definitely made by a small group of people. You can see in the special effects, they're all practical. There's tons of blood flying everywhere, tons of rubber monster suits. it really does feel like my brain taken out of my head and put onto a screen, just the type of sense of humor. And it's a really cool movie you can watch with slightly older kids. It's something we talk about on our show a lot. It's kind of disappeared, is that tween mid-range movie. And I mentioned before movies like Gremlins or Monster Squad. We have a lot of G-rated movies for young kids, and we have a lot of PG-13 stuff for 4-quadrant, but there really isn't that middle range movies anymore where you can kind of go see it as an 11 or 12-year-old and still feel like it's cool. Oh, thank you, Ray. We love you. Thank you. So yeah, thanks for taking me right off my train of thought too, Ray. I really appreciate it. But there's no, that we were missing those movies, and this is kind of one of those movies. I watched it with my son and my daughter. They both loved it. And we just had fun with it, man. And it's got Rich Evans from Red Letter Media in it as well, in a cameo role. He quickly dies, so it's fun. It's a fun movie, man. I liked it. No politics, no message, just fun. Throwback to the 80s for you. So Psycho Gorman, check it out. It's on Shudder and just about every VOD platform out there. So. You got so excited and quiet.
My apologies. I mute so that way I don't make any noise over you guys. Real quick, so Wizard is chugging down the thought train. Yes, it is. That was a beautiful speech, by the way.
Thank you.
For the movie. Great defense. What I will say is, am I going to go down to the 80s send-up tonight? Or am I actually going to the 80s with this crazy movie? Doug, tell me what this movie means to you and why you chose it.
So personally, not to get like sappy, so growing up in Jersey, tri-state area, like there was like these movies that would always be on WPIX channel 11. And this was one my dad showed me, the original Death Wish, at a really
time out real quick. I'm sorry to do this to you. Are you both from Jersey?
I'm not from Jersey. I'm from Western Massachusetts, but we had Channel 11 and Channel 9.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's how I used to see the Warriors like every weekend on TV and stuff. So the Howard Stern show back in the day. So
all right, where from Jersey, Doug?
One from Central Jersey, which people say doesn't exist, but like Middlesex County, South Plainfield.
No, I don't want a county. I want a town. Where are you from?
South Plainfield, New Jersey.
Carteret. That's where I'm from.
What?
Born and raised in Jersey City, lived in Carteret towards my high school years. So there you go.
Good, because with the last name Manhattan, I was gonna say if
I did live
there. He's from San Francisco.
That makes sense.
That's his last name.
This does not. I'm glad we're both from Jersey. I love Mass too. So I'm not going to say that takes the argument here because I'm still I still need to hear it. But you said Jersey. I had to hear where you guys are from. WPIX is a lost art form.
Yeah. So right back to that. That was like on Saturday afternoon. They would always have these movies on, like in between, like before like the Yankee game or right after. I remember because my dad loved Death Wish. This movie would be on. This and Showdown with Billy Blanks, if that rings a bell for you guys. But all the friggin' time. And I did interview one of the bad guys from Showdown and Kilpatrick, which is insane. But this movie was on all the time. It, for some reason, has this near and dear place to my heart. So when I had the opportunity, when we had this podcast, I would watch it all the time anyway. But I'm like, dude, we can cover this, but we have to interview somebody. So I talked to Giggler, Kirk Taylor, and then 2 weeks ago, I was lucky enough to do a reunion in honor of Charles Bronson's 100th birthday with Alex Winter, Tony Spiridakis, and Kirk Taylor. And it was the first time they saw each other in like 36 years. So in conjunction with the nostalgia of watching that with my dad at the age of probably like 7 or 8, watching 70 people get blown apart, Ed Lauder showing police brutality on an old white guy in the police station. It just, I don't know, it just means a lot to me. It's to watch this movie is like comforting. And I don't know if that's like a good thing or I need to see someone.
All right. This is where it gets bad because Joey gave such a beautiful and impassioned speech about Psycho Gorman that I was like, yeah, I think that's it. That right there nailed it. And then you have to be from Jersey. And the reason I say that is because you played up the WPIX nostalgia. Now I'm like, it's so true. I remember all of that myself. And by the way, this is for anybody watching who hasn't seen Death Wish 3. and or maybe has seen it in WPIX when you were younger, is a vastly different movie uncut.
It is.
Vastly different movie. Oh my God, you guys made some great arguments, and I am going to tell you right now, some no hard feelings. I want you both back on my show because my co-host Casey is from Connecticut. He knows
Nice.
WPIX, and I would love
okay.
to do a Saturday afternoon movie, just talk about the movies we used to watch.
Definitely.
That is a formal invitation. I will send you dates to be on the show.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, this is a tough. All right. I don't know how it gets so tough every time I do this show, but man, I invite some people who really know their movies on you. Here's the thing. I think I'm going to have to go Psycho Gorman. Here's why. I love both those speeches. It comes down to the debate. It's because, and again, this has been an argument in the past with other ones, when people choose movies that are sequels, I am a guy who can't just watch Death Wish 3. I'm going to have to watch 1, 2, 3. I'm not going towards 4. I will stop after 3. But Psycho Gorman I can watch tonight. Not have anything else to watch. Yeah, I've got to give it to you, Joey. You did a great argument here.
Awesome.
God, Doug, man, your nostalgia speech hit me right here, super hard.
WPAX, man, and UPN, both of those. I don't know if Showdown was on. It was on one of those, but I remember watching that so much. It was
so many great movies came off of WPIX. One of my favorite movies of all time, a Michael Keaton movie, The Paper, where he plays. They played that on like Saturday afternoon on either Fox or WPIX. It would always change up every like month or so.
Yeah, right after wrestling, all your cartoons are done. Time to watch weird 80s movies with
like Space Invaders, Batteries Not Included was on a lot.
Horribly like not even standard def, like you smeared Vaseline on your glasses. Like,
and occasionally you'd get those extra special like Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yep.
But it was super cut down. It's like a 45-minute movie at that point.
Yeah.
But guys, I gotta tell you, these are two great choices. I'm very excited to see Psycho Gorman. I've never seen it before, like I said. I might have to watch that. I'm gonna probably, like I always do, end up watching both.
It's gonna be a long night.
But I gotta give it to Psycho Gorman on this one.
I think I'm gonna watch Psycho Gorman too. So to be honest.
All right, I'll tell you what. There's your homework. I'm gonna reach out to you with a couple of dates coming up soon. If you're available, Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. we have the Scene Snobs podcast. I want to get you guys both back on.
Yep.
Okay. So and then I look for the next few weeks. So you can get a Tuesday available. Get you guys back on. But I want you to watch Psycho Gorman. We're going to talk about that as well.
Okay.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Real quick, is there anything else you guys want to tell us about your shows? Joey, why don't we go with you? Congratulations, by the way, on the win tonight. We will be having you back because we're going to have, A, we just have people back anyway because I like you guys. But B, we will have a Tournament of Champions.
Oh, boy.
And a Tournament of Losers.
Nice. How does Joey get the car? Do you drive it to him, or does he just pick it up at the dealership and send you the slip?
I'm going to hire an Uber driver.
It looks nice. It doesn't have an engine, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So. You know what? I will. Yeah, it absolutely doesn't. Trust me.
Yeah, it's real simple. Just sowizardpodcast.com. It's got links to the podcast, all our video content, all our social media. Just come check us out. We'd love to have you guys listen and see what we're doing every week.
I appreciate that. And, you guys are doing great stuff. Like I said, and you can check the So Wizard podcast link right down below. Go check them out everywhere. And Doug, tell us some more about The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel.
Oof. I just did some epic interviews last night. So a lot of great stuff coming up, man. I don't know. Sometimes when I send these emails out, they come out good. And I was really lucky that some of the people that are coming up. So sequelsonly.com. Go there, subscribe. We do YouTube. We put them on YouTube too, so if people want to look at us, but they want to look at the guests more, like when I interviewed like Jennifer Lyons or Brittany Amber when she was a guest, adult film star. She came on and talked Hellraiser for like 2 hours with us.
I wasn't going to say that name sounded familiar, but
but then you have to pretend that, does that sound familiar? Maybe.
Never heard
Did
of
I
her
go to
before.
school with a Brittany? Maybe. But no, just sequelsonly.com has it all, and we have fun with it. Like, we're like not like cheap when it comes to what we talk about. We get real in depth, lots of behind the scenes, and the interviews are my co-host Jamie's listening. I love doing the reviews, but I love finding out origin stories, like how people got started. Like the guy last night, his neighbor that moved in worked at the news station, and then from there, he always loved film. He went from that, learning from that guy, he became a big-time cinematographer. So
nice. That's fantastic, cool, man. And guys, again, you can check it out right down below. We have another link to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. They're two really cool premises, really cool stuff. If you are on social media, make sure to follow them too, because they're putting out some really fun posts. But until next time, remember, if you're watching this, please hit that like button. It really helps us in the algorithms. If you like our content, maybe hit the subscribe button, but I'm not going to pressure you. If you want to know anything else about the Scene Snobs, check out the after credits, and it'll tell you all that stuff there. Go to thescenesnobs.com. It's right there. All right. Until next time, this has been Real Combat. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Doug. And I can't wait to check out Psycho Gorman. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com. It's all there for you guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.